As more facts are being released about the new Fujifilm camera set to be announced sometime in March, it appears that I actually can, with sufficient puzzle pieces, actually paint a decent picture with the XT4. I don't actually think it's going to be called the XT4. That's pretty irrelevant. It seems to be a melding of the Fujifilm XH form type camera, which of course has an IBIS mech, and that of the XT3. It should be actually an inexpensive camera assembled in China. Of course, a lot of people actually fail to make proper distinction between made in versus assembled in, but that's not the important point. The rumor website actually came out with the information that that the XT4, whatever it's going to be called, is going to have a different battery in it, obviously with larger milliamp capacity. I actually a bit of an expert on lithium batteries, and I had to do that as a tech support person for Apple. Yes, I used to do tech support for Apple. Still have several of my articles on their website. The reason why it would be a larger battery and a higher milliamp is not for more capacity or for more shots. It actually changes the discharge profile, which is necessary for certain key features about a camera, specifically the reason why, like, for example, Nikon's flagship cameras take really large batteries, like the Nikon D3, D4, D5. I can paint a picture for you on the new Fujifilm camera. We know that it's going to have IBIS. We know that it is going to have a larger battery capacity. I know it's going to be relatively inexpensive. I also know for near absolute certainty that it's going to have an integrated grip. In other words, there's not going to be a detachable vertical grip on it, but a fully functional integrated grip like that found on the Nikon D4, D5, D3, etc., such that it'll be a hardcore sports action camera with a much better buffer, such that I don't know what the frame per second is going to be, but it's going to be tremendously more so than that found on the XT3, with the larger milliamp capacity on the lithium pack, with the integrated vertical grip, and probably a slide-out tray for capacity of 2 larger batteries. Also, too, there's one advantage, like the XH1. Any camera that actually has an IBIS mech is necessitatively thicker. Like, you couldn't make the current XT3 with an IBIS mech in it without making it necessitatively a minimum of about 5 to 6 millimeters thicker. That's just a fact. But the way you can actually hide that in the ergonomic profile of the camera is actually having a thicker, deeper grip like that found on the XH1, but also, too, the thicker, deeper grip melds into the vertical grip of an integrated grip like that you see on a D3, D4, D5 Nikon. So the new Fujifilm camera should be a crossbreed between the XH series and the XT3 series, with obviously a larger battery, as has been reported, an integrated, non-removable vertical grip, an IBIS mech, and a much, much better buffer for doing continuous shots, just ripping them off. Not to the level of like a Nikon D6. It's already been reported several times that D6 will let you keep shooting until the SD cards, or actually the media cards, not SD cards, but until the Compact Flash Express cards are full. I don't know if it's going to continue to have actually SD card media for the new Fujifilm camera. The current 300 megabit per second SanDisk cards, for example, are more than capable enough of handling the actual flow from the camera. The issue, of course, has been the bus on the main board. People think, well, you know, this is the limit of SD cards. It's not the limit of SD cards. It's the limit of the bus, of how much information can actually be shuttled from the main board to the media cards themselves. So with sufficient puzzle pieces, it's kind of easy to paint a picture of what the new Fujifilm camera will be. Hardcore sports action wildlife camera, integrated vertical grip, larger battery for different discharge profile for really shooting a hardcore and letting them rip and rip and rip, which of course is very important, not only for action, but also too for photojournalism. Integrated vertical grip, and of course the IBIS mechanism. Thanks so much for watching, and welcome to sunny South Florida.